Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle C's from CZT Jody Genovese. And this is a neat, I like the name. I like the concept behind the name. You can go and take a look at the For More Inspiration link so you can read it. You might get it by the time we're done. I had to read it. It took me... Apparently I'm slow today. Oh, okay. So, neat fill-in tangle, but you could also use it as a border. So take a look at that For More Inspiration link and at the samples, at Jody's samples in there. It's just really, really neat. All right. Makes me think somewhat of some beading. But yeah, it's interesting. Okay. So, we're going to start off, and I'm going to just start in the middle because I like to. And with a middle-ish, it doesn't matter, a C shape. Then, I'm going to come on the other side of it, and I'm going to do my best to do this backwards. And draw another C shape. And, let's see, I guess I can go down. And then, so I'm going to, make a column here. Same idea. C shape. And I could just go up here as well. C shape. Now, one thing you might consider, I don't know. Words are difficult today, apparently. Is you could flip the tile so that way you can make your C shapes using the natural curve of your hand. Up to you completely. Now I have some that are narrow, some that are not. I wanted to try to do them all more on the narrow side. Let's try it from this angle. But you don't have to. I mean, you don't want to flip your tile like every 2 seconds either. Well, that's up to you though. All right, so let's try. So then we're just going to grow this. So now, let me back up. We're going to grow it, but we're doing C shapes one direction, C shapes the opposite direction, and we're going to alternate that as we go. This one just looks like they're seeds. All right, let's see if I can get this. Some of it, here's an, well, it doesn't really make it a C shape if you start and do two halves, because I'm like, I think my issue is if I swing this out too far, then, which makes sense, then of course, you have to make a deeper C shape in order to fill it in, to get it to meet there. So that's just a thought. And sometimes they just end up a little wonky, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, see, like that. Okay, this will have one side that's, you know what? Again, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Oh, but let's see. And if I was doing another one, it would come out here. And we'll get that right there. And here. Okay. I like to fill in the, even the littlest bit on the other, when I'm doing it like this, which is essentially hollowing the pattern underneath the border. And it's neat mostly because it's so repetitive, and that's what we want in Zentangle. That's what gives us the meditative quality, that stress relief and whatnot. Because when it's repetitive, then we're focusing on, whatever the stroke is at hand, and that's all we're focusing on. And it's good. And then by the time we get done, it's like, oh, look at what I made. And it's very cool. All right. There we go. That's it. And so you can grow this however you wish. That's another neat thing about it. That's what I said. It's a fill-in, or because in the one, she maybe has like 2 rows. Guess you could even do 1 row if you wanted to. Up to you. All right. So something I noticed after I did my step outs, because then I go back and read sometimes. So now you just have all of this space to decorate. And of course, you can decorate it however you wish. I do like Jody's samples, which was to make some fine lines, in the oval-ish shapes. And then, so my first, because, again, not reading, just looking and just focusing more on the step outs. And she didn't have a step out for, this decorating part. It was just, in the wording. And she said, well, in the, if you wanted to create orbs, because hers, they look sort of like orbs, but here's what she did, is basically rounded. And so you could do this and have it be like this, which would end up being kind of an odd shape. Let me get it without the bumps in there. So you're rounding and then, filling in the little gaps. Or you could, kind of like the Tangle and Zeppel, which if you follow daily, we talked about that not too long ago, and just fill in the little gaps like that. Either way, this you could end up with, depending on how you're, well, either way. Oh yeah, like this one. Okay, yeah, I could put in an orb. I think it's still gonna look the same, whether I do rounding or, make an orb. That was just going to be more ovally shaped. Like that, and just filling in those gaps. So up to you, whatever you want to do. I ended up, I just did shading on the insides of those. I did some shading on these parts too with the lines in it, but I just did shading on the diamonds, and that looks fine too. So it's just nice. It's up to you completely. And then also with this, because it's a fill-in and because it's all similar shapes, again, you can lose yourself a bit in the decorating, especially like this, where you're just doing I'm doing light lines. I'm trying to just touch the surface of the paper so that way it doesn't matter how wiggly or not they are, versus doing a very deliberate stroke. I like doing these better because, again, I don't have to worry about having them be even or straight or like that. Sometimes I might go in and try to, fit something in between, but we shall see. And this just is everything Zentangle, because it's just, it's a lot of the same lines. Now I'm thinking you could alternate what you're doing. You could create a pattern out of the pattern and decorate things differently, either by skipping or, doing diagonals or something like that. It's all up to you. And I'm just sharing some ideas while I do this. But I think I only have a few more. Well, but then there's the other part. And if you're tangling along with me, you know what? Let me share some of the stuff I usually wait to the end to do. Now here's something though, as I just did, because we're doing such repetition, take a minute and stretch your fingers out, because I was starting to get the death grip. I think my fingers were starting to turn white from holding it too tightly, like as if it's gonna run away or something. It's always a good idea every once in a while. Just do that. Also, take an eyeball break and focus across the room on something. Just stretch it. It just depends on how big of an area that you're doing. And sometimes I'll say, and remember to breathe. Oh yes, that's important. Because apparently sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I should breathe. Yes. Oh, that's a good idea. And it's funny because when I remind myself, it's like I didn't realize that I wasn't, and not that, not breathing, but it's like almost like a shallow breath or something. And it's like, every once in a while, just Sit up straight and take a deep breath in. And go on. I think I kind of like it like that. I should have done every other one. So here's something. If you're not sure if you're going to like something, and it's not that I don't like this, but I'm like, I could have, showed something else, but because I've started kind of in rows, then I want to finish in rows and be consistent. So one thing that I will do sometimes is on purpose. So say like it's a grid square, or if it was this, if I had been thinking, I might have done, let's just do every other one first, because then I can always come back and fill in. Or if by the time I had done a couple, it's like, well, okay, let's do those, and we'll do that every other. Fine. And then we'll do something else in the other areas. And it creates for a neat pattern, and you get to play a little bit more. Either way, it's fine. It's whatever you want to do. And I'm almost thinking I might leave the side ones empty. Nah, I probably won't. But I might not do them at the moment. Okay. Oops. Side one. Always got to get those little partials. So shading too, there's so many ways you could, and I think I'm gonna. Let's see. Wait, how do I want to do those? Well, one thing I like to do, but these are kind of small. We'll see if I can. Maybe I won't use the Tortillion. I'm just going really light with the pencil in a C shape. I may or may not use the Tortillion. I don't know. Because if you kind of go light, you don't necessarily need. Well, in any case, you don't need to necessarily, spread it out with the Tortillion. It's perfectly fine. But one thing that in my version of the step out that I like that came out of it was, I'm just going to do the upper left of the bigger shapes. And spread it out with not too far, because we want to keep that middle, the original tile color. Oh, I see I need to fill in that little gap there. I always find the places that I missed when I start shading. But see how that's neat, turning out, giving some neat dimension there. Like that. And then, what have I got here? I don't know, but I'm going to fill that in. All right. But then, we turn the tile and do the same thing again on the upper left, which ends up being, as you can see, diagonal to what we just did. I can always come back and fill those. I'm going to fill those in afterwards. But this is, of course, up to you. However if something else moves you to shade it a different way, go for it. Do it. I just think it gives it an interesting, kind of shine, with all of those, the lines in there. Going a little bit darker might help with at least some of the bigger ones here. Let's see. Use up what's left on my Tortillion. Yeah. Oops. as I hit the table, and then everything vibrates. Yeah, I do think, though, and I'm going to let's use a newer Tortillion with a nice, that looks like I used it for something else, though. Okay, never mind. I have another one. Just because I want it, I didn't want to add any graphite, but I do want to, yeah, just spread that out a little bit. I like it a lot better. Okay. So, it's, like I said, it's an interesting tangle. It's really neat. And if you enjoyed it, as I finish these up here, give yourself a finger break and click on the like button if you enjoyed it. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. In the description section, you will find links to the step outs, as I mentioned. And, I'm having another thought here. And let me interrupt myself. And I'm looking back at Jody's. Well, it depends on how. Here's a thought. If you I'm feeling like it's busy isn't the right word, but I guess it is. But here's something else that you could do. We could come and just redefine a little bit. Oh, yes. Look at that. Redefining just in the middle. And especially if you have some that are a little odd shaped. Okay, I like, yes. I was not being happy with it. I was just like, well. Even though I said I was, I lied. No. I was but look at, I like, okay, I don't know. You tell me, you like it better, after adding some of that. I have some more at the top there to add. But just adding that little, it doesn't have to be a lot of separation, but I'm thinking just a little bit of separation in there. And I'm thinking, looking back at Jody's samples, and maybe, I don't know, it just depends on how you do those curve lines. But then again, we don't know, because we didn't see exactly all of what she did. She might have done just this. We don't know. We will never know. But I think it really helps. So, all right. So, along with the step outs in the description section, you will find below those my Linktree link, and there is ways to follow me. So it has all of my links. It's such a neat program. If you have a lot of depending on what you do, or even with you do something like this, it's a really neat program, and it's there. You can upgrade and pay, but I'm just using the free version because I just wanted to give it a try. I kept hearing people talking about it, the Linktree, and there's probably a link at the bottom where you can start your own or something. And it's just so handy to put all of your links, and then for signature lines and stuff like that on email and whatnot, and just really, really, really neat. So there's a link to my website where you can follow me for. I put out a daily, which is what this is, a daily tangle, as well as recaps to classes and things like that. I am not yet, I don't quite have it, have a program for teaching, like the platform that I use, where I can have you sign up on my website. So Facebook is great for that. Also, there's a couple links there as well to Eventbrite and Meetup if you happen to be on those platforms. But any of those three, if you're interested in classes, I do teach twice weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. My time in Michigan, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Thursdays are free always. It's called Tangle Time. And so if you go to the classes link on my site, And you have to scroll down. I put like the current paid ones there as an advertisement first. But then scroll down, and I keep the current codes. I usually change them, a few hours before the session. So don't try to click any of those links because they won't work. At least I don't think they will, unless it takes you to somewhere else. I don't know if they reuse them or not. But anyway, so you can check that out. Also, if you are on Facebook, besides following my page, if you want to join in the fun with a bunch of other Tangle addicts, we'd love to welcome you to our Tangle family. There are 4 questions that you have to answer in order to gain entry, just so you know, but we have a lot of fun over there. I think I'm going to do something else with this while I'm just sitting here looking at it. It needs something else, but I think I'm just going to blend out the sides a little bit, just because, as we're talking. Without adding any graphite, I'm just going to use what's there. So I think, well, that's all I guess that I want to hit, because that's all that's in my, I like that a lot better. Sometimes it just needs that one extra something, but you know what? Let me throw another nugget in here, because sometimes it's like, if you don't feel like you're done, as my friend Diane says, if you're not happy with it, it just means you're not done yet. And then also, if you're still not happy with it, it means you just need to add some white. And as soon as I locate, because of course as an afterthought, I'm good for afterthoughts. It's just part of that creative process, right? But wait. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, but wait, there's more. White pencil, wherefore art thou? Oh, there you are. Okay. So here's something else. And because I kind of put that shine on the diagonal. This is the remainder of a General's white charcoal. And even though this is essentially a white tile, because there's so much penwork in there, it just goes over the penwork. You can leave gaps, by the way. That's a tangle enhancer. I like that, though, because sometimes you don't necessarily think about it until afterwards, and you're like, wait, it just needs something. There we go. So, little extra. Love it. Love it, love it. All right, so I think I said all that I'm going to say for today. You can find everything in the description section. And with that, that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.